The NBA has blessed the Detroit Pistons in Cade Cunningham as the star player not only looks to bring a championship to the city of Detroit. For the first time in over 20 years, this one key detail completely flips the script on exactly why Cade Cunningham is looking like the favorite to land the league MVP, and this detail completely changes everything in his quest to land it. We're going to break down everything from this detail that sets aside Cade Cunningham from the rest of the NBA and how the Pistons match up against the rest of the league as they push to win a championship for the first time in over 20 years. We're going to break down all this and so much more in this episode. Before we get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone watching, and once again a big thank you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers in just under 2 weeks. We're going to set the goal to 2,004 subscribers, a little number that we like over here on Detroit. So make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. It means the world, and I'll keep you up to date on everything to do around the team. Now, with the Detroit Pistons, of course, the league's best team when ranking up not only against the Eastern Conference, but the rest of the NBA. But there is one detail in particular that is setting aside against the rest of the league as Cade Cunningham looks to go out and win his first MVP. The new 65 game rule might deliver Cade Cunningham the MVP. Shea's eligibility is in jeopardy. Wemby, Luka, and Jokic on pace to be disqualified. Now, I do want to touch on this very quickly because there's a lot of mixed emotions, of course, with the new rule of playing 65 games to win an award and be named on an all-NBA team. But with the rest of the NBA, a lot of players, of course, Shea has been out for a couple of games. Jokic missed a big frame as well. This gives Cade Cunningham the perfect option to go out and win the MVP. Now, when looking at this, of course, Cade is on pace to play 73 games, and he can miss 11 more to be eligible to make it and win the MVP. Matchup against the rest of the league, Shea can miss 6, Luka 5, 4 to Wemby, and of course, only 1 with Nikola Jokic. Now, when looking at this, of course, a lot of these players are going to play quite a few games. A lot of players get rested when coming at the back end of the league. But my big thing with this is I don't want Cade Cunningham to only win this award because he goes out to play enough games. This is the sense where you're matched up against a lot of elite talent. Of course, there's going to be a lot of guys across the NBA. Jokic, who is almost averaging or is averaging a triple-double. You see Shea just behind him, 32 with 4.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists. But looking at Cade Cunningham, 25.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. Yes, the numbers don't look as pretty as Jokic, who is a vocal point for their offense with the Nuggets, of course. But what we're witnessing at Cade Cunningham is a lot bigger than what we've witnessed out of a lot of these players with their team. Of course, the numbers across the board for the shooting percentage, of course, with the three-point shot, you want it to be higher, but Cade is shooting very well over the last stretch of games. But when looking at the percentiles, 97th percent, 85th in rebounds, 100% in assists, as he's the league best playmaker. With the minutes played, 98th percentile, the true shooting is a little lower along with the field goal and 3 percentage. But the big thing with Cade and what sets him aside, in my opinion, with the rest of the NBA is this is a star player that's also going out to play elite defense. The defensive rating of the 81st percentile doesn't show the true picture where we're seeing Cade Cunningham, of course, put up a lot of stocks when looking at across the NBA. 1.5 steals with almost a block per game. Yes, a big point guard. But at the end of the game, this is a player that's going out to play every single night. And of course, with the NBA implementing the rule, with the 65 games, he's going to go head to head to prove to the rest of the NBA. Wemby, who's just behind him, of course, is their next game going through as they seek their 6th straight win, which is going to be interesting. But the big thing with Cade, he is on pace to become the first player in NBA history that averaged 25, 5, and 9, and a 75% winning percentage in a single season. And diving even further, with the current MVP candidates, with Cade putting up historic things that we have not seen, of course, having 11 games left for him to still be eligible, it feels like at the end of the day, of course, this is a Pistons team that is built on not just Cade Cunningham. Looking through the team, there's multiple guys stepping up. Jenkins, who has been an awesome addition to this team that was once a two-way contract converted into a one, of course. Jalen Duren taking the step to become an all-star within this organization. Beef Stew, who is suspended right now, but is a player that has came in and carved out one of the best backup center positions in the NBA. This is a team that, of course, is built on the defense, their ability, to go out and win every single game on the defensive end. Ausar Thompson has looked like a league decoy. Tobias Harris has came in big. Duncan Robinson adding the spacing. Caris LeVert is Caris LeVert. Javonte Green has been an amazing addition. And Ron Holland, the young player joining this team. I'm not going to sit here and say the Pistons are legitimately the only reason why they're a one seed is because of Cade Cunningham. But when looking at the numbers and what Cade has brought, the vocal port of this offense, of course, someone that comes out every single night and gives you those 25, 10, and almost 10, almost a triple-double. This is the type of player, when looking at the rest of the MVPs around the league, it's hard not to say he is not the reason why this Pistons team has been this elite. If you replace him with a lot of guys like Shea, of course, the team is going to play well, but the Pistons' entire team has been ran around this player moving forward and in the past year, where we can see, of course, the game versus the Bulls. Yes, a rebuilding team in the Chicago Bulls. Not the best reason to say this team is outstanding, but looking at the New York Knicks, you end their win streak just a couple of weeks ago going into the All-Star break. You end the Hornets win streak. The hottest team in the NBA at the time, you end that as well. The Toronto Raptors, you beat the Knicks just days, just 24 hours after Cade came out to say that, one, he's not a flopper, and two, he's the best American point guard. He proved that at MSG, something that it was LeBron James and only one other player all time have ever had this feat of, I believe it was 25, 10, and 10, something like that. Cade Cunningham single-handedly has been willing this team to wins in games that it looks like this team might not even win. What we're seeing out of Cade Cunningham has been the biggest part of this success, and of course, the depth, the coaching of JB Bickerstaff, what this team has brought to not only the Eastern Conference standings, where they sit number one at a 76.4% win rate, but when looking across the entire NBA, we can see them above teams like the OKC Thunder, Boston Celtics, the Spurs, who they will be playing. This will change a tiny bit as teams continue to win or falter, but at the end of the day, when you're looking at the schedule of this team and what's coming up, this is going to be a big moving ground for Cade Cunningham to go out against the Thunder, the Cavs, the Magic, the Spurs, these teams in particular, to build off his case. And with the numbers and what we're seeing across the NBA, with the fact that Cade can sit out more games, I don't want him to win this just because teams where players are rested towards then and miss out on the eligibility. But at the end of the day, I want the media to notice what we are noticing with what should be the league MVP. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What's your thoughts on Cade? What's your thoughts on this graph alone, where we can see that Cade can miss 5 more games than Shea and other guys that are supposedly above him on the MVP? When looking at Basketball Reference, once again, we can see at the moment Cade is third in possible voting and what they're projecting for the league MVP. Let me know all your thoughts on Cade Cunningham, the Pistons, this season as a whole, and are we going to see the Bad Boy Pistons 3.0 win a championship this year? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But that's been it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Mark. Bye. I'm getting over the flu, so hopefully this made sense, and take care, Pistons fans.